Hey everybody, it's Heather. It is about 2:30 in the morning, and earlier on today I had decided that I was going to come on and speak on something that I tend to do a lot. And I know a lot of people who have bad anxiety tend to do the same thing. What I'm speaking about is catastrophizing. You know, when you don't get a call from your significant other and all of a sudden it's running through your head that, oh my God, I bet you he got into a car wreck. Oh my God, he's probably dead on the side of the road. Those kinds of things are catastrophizing. So I know that I have a bad habit of doing that, and I'm sure a lot of people out there who have anxiety are also guilty of doing that. Multiple times I have been in relationships where I would automatically assume the worst in situations. They weren't talking to me. They were obviously mad at me. If I couldn't get a hold of them, something bad had happened, things like that. I catastrophize about everything, and it is highly annoying to me. It's highly annoying to me, and I don't doubt that it's probably highly annoying to other people as well when I do it. I will often worry about others. I worry about myself when it comes to like blood tests and different other tests that they've had to do on me. I automatically assumed the worst and would just automatically think, oh, my tests are going to come back positive for something. Or like every single time I have an STD test or have had an STD test in the past, or like had an HIV test, I simply assumed that it would come back positive. I would keep telling myself, no, no, it's not going to come back positive, not going to come back. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. But we really have to stop doing that. As people who have anxiety, it is even harder on us to sit there and think, oh God, this is what's going to happen next. I have gotten in cars and thought about, what if, we get into a car wreck, or, what if somebody falls asleep while they're driving and I'm asleep in the back, things like that. And I'm sure that if I ever got on a plane, which I have not yet because I am super, super anxious about getting on a plane. And I'll explain that in a minute because that's something else I wanted to talk about. But in order to get past catastrophizing, we have to fight negative with positive. Often I will think something bad and then, oh, nope, catch myself. No, 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 that's not going to happen. Heather, you have to think positive. You're going to get through this. It's going to be okay. Just think positive. It's difficult, very, very difficult for people who have anxiety to think positive about a situation. Really, really hard. I've been there. I totally get it. I know exactly where you're coming from. However, we have to force ourselves to get into the habit of thinking positive. These are things that my father has been talking to me about lately. This is how he got past his panic attacks and his panic disorder. He started thinking positive. So even if he wakes up having a really crappy day, he automatically says, it's a beautiful day today. I'm smiling. I'm awake. It's wonderful. He always thinks positive about things, and I admire him greatly for getting through the things that he's gotten through. And he's actually turned into a very positive person and turned his anxiety attacks around. I want to be that person. So I'm going to do my best from now on to think positively about things. If I catch myself thinking negatively, I will catch myself and I will say, hey, we can't think like that anymore. My dad says the more you do something, the more it becomes a habit. So we've gotten ourselves into this position where we are in the habit of thinking negative, right? So what we have to do is we have to get into the habit of thinking positively. Eventually, they say fake it till you make it. Eventually, you're gonna make it. So this is where I'm at from now on. I need to start thinking positively and manifest things into my life that I want and need. So I am challenging all of you out there who are watching this video to think positive. Even when you're having a really rough time, think positive. It's hard, but you can do it. I'm going to do my best. I know you're going to do your best. The other thing I wanted to talk about was my anxiety in regards to being on a plane. So here's the thing. Most people are worried about, the plane's going to crash. Oh, what if, someone hijacks the plane while I'm on it? Oh, blah, 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 right? Not me. The very idea of being in a plane and staring down at, wide open spaces and seeing land from high above, seeing the clouds, makes me so happy. It enthralls me. It makes me want to get on a plane. Here's where the problem is. So, as people with anxiety and me having panic disorder, we tend to be very, very aware of how our body works, which means we're very aware of our heartbeat. We're very aware of our oxygen intake. We tend to scrutinize if things are normal or not. And instead of just getting on a plane, I started doing some, see, this is the problem with brain fog, is that sometimes I can't remember words. I started looking up flying and how it was possible for us to be in the air with, very little oxygen in the air that high. And I found that they pressurized the cabins. I didn't know that. I was on a plane one time when I was like probably 4 years old. Okay. So they pressurized the cabin to about 8,000 feet. Cool. Great. We can breathe on the airplane. Problem being is that people have done studies where they put a pulse oximeter on their finger and got on the plane, and when they went up in the plane, their oxygen actually drops like 5 points, from 99% to like 94%. Normal people don't notice shit like that, right? But us people, we notice. So here's my situation. I feel like if I was to get on that airplane and notice that my oxygen was a little low, that I felt like I couldn't breathe completely, and my heart rate started going up, that I would have a panic attack on that plane and end up losing my mind on a plane in front of everybody, and that would just be bad. My friend said, well, just go ahead and have them give you some Xanax so you can get on a plane and you'll be able to land and you'll be a little loopy, but you will have gotten over the worry about breathing on the airplane. Okay, great. But Xanax knocks me out. I wouldn't be able to enjoy the view. But I have all these wants and needs. Okay, I've always wanted to go to New York. Always. But I do not see myself taking that long trip in a car all the way to New York. I need to get my ass on a plane and go enjoy New York. Period. I want to go to the UK. I want to see London, England. I would love to go to different countries. I want to go to Hawaii. I want to see Jamaica. Here's the other thing. Me being the anxious person that I am, knowing that elevations, the higher the elevation, the harder it is to breathe. Okay. So then I started going on and like looking at what elevations certain areas of the world are. Okay. I found that New York is like 33 feet. So we're at like 300 here in Eugene, Oregon. So I'd be perfect in New York. Other places are higher, like 3,000 feet, 4,000 feet, 5,000 feet. And even Las Vegas is like 3,000 feet or some shit like that. And then I'm just going to feel weird being there. And then I'll throw myself into a panic attack. This is why it's annoying. This is catastrophizing. This is the reason why I don't travel. It's horrible. I am 36 years old. I have not been on an airplane since I was 4 years old. And I want to travel. So I'm going to do what I have to do. Positive thinking, maybe a little Xanax, not sure yet, to get on that plane and to go someplace, because I am tired of letting my anxiety keep me here in Eugene, Oregon. I lived in Portland, Oregon for 8 years, and then I came back to Eugene 2 years ago. This is where I've been. I've been to California when I was a kid. I've been to Washington. I've been to Oregon. I've been to Phoenix, Arizona, because I lived there when I was a kid. But other than that, I've never been anywhere. I have dreams. I have hopes. I have wants and needs to go and see the world. I have a wanderlust that is unquenchable. But I can't get my ass on the airplane. Wish me luck. So that's my issue tonight. Thinking about, catastrophizing, and I'm just sincerely tired of being such a negative person and worrying about everything. Even with the friggin' fires that are going around all over the place here. The other day, our air quality was so bad. They said not to do any kind of exertion, out there. Don't go running. Just stay in your house unless you have to go out. Because apparently the particles were so small they could get deep into your lungs and into your blood and make you sick and you could die, blah, blah, blah. I put on a freaking face mask. And I was just, nope, not going outside unless I had to. Unless I gotta go to work, I'm not leaving. Anxiety is bullshit. I mean, yeah, that thing could happen, but not a lot. And I'm sitting here worrying about it, wearing a face mask, freaking out because I think something's going to get into my lungs and into my blood and I'm going to get sick and I'm going to die. Great. Anyways, catastrophizing. Let's stop doing it together, okay? Let's start thinking positive and getting through this shit together. Because we're better than this and we deserve better than this, correct? I think so too. That's all I'm going to complain about tonight. I slept last night. I didn't have a panic attack, so that's good. Let's hope for night 2. We'll see what happens. Good night, everybody.